Once, in a far-off corner of Wales, nestled between steep mountains and shadowy forests, there stood a village named Cwm Glyndwrdwy. This village was known for its peacefulness, except for one terrible shadow that hung over it. A shadow. Idris leaned close and rumbled, "What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees yet never grows." Gwyn barely hesitated. "A mountain," he said, glancing up at the very peak Idris called home. The giant froze, his anger melting into astonishment. For the first time, someone had outwitted him. Fearing his injured pride might fester and grow into further humiliation, Idris stomped away, vowing never to set foot in Cwm Glyndwrdwy again. Belonging to a cruel giant named Idris. Idris was a terrifying sight to behold. With a beard as dark as storm clouds and a voice like the rolling thunder, he ruled over the valleys below not as a protector, but as a tyrant. He demanded tribute from the villagers, flocks of sheep, barrels of mead, and even their finest grains. And worse, if anyone dared to deny him, he would storm down the mountains, smashing fields and scattering livestock. For years, the villagers lived in fear, whispering prayers each night that someone brave enough might come to deliver them from Idris's grip. Little did they know, their salvation would not come from a warrior, but from a clever young shepherd named Gwyn. Gwyn was the youngest of 5 brothers and often underestimated because of his size and age. But what Gwyn lacked in strength, he more than made up for in wit. When Idris demanded 3 of Gwyn's sheep, his only sheep, mind you, Gwyn devised a bold plan. Late one evening, as the moon cast silver light on the slopes of Ir Wydfa, Gwyn climbed the mountain carrying nothing but a small sack and a humble shepherd's crook. He approached the giant's cave cautiously, where the ground was littered with bones, broken boulders, and remnants of the giant's plundering. Summoning all his courage, Gwyn called out, "O mighty Idris, I come not to fight, but to offer you a challenge that no creature of this world could ever solve." "A challenge, you say?" Idris growled, his voice rumbling like distant thunder. "What could a tiny morsel like you offer me that is worth my time?" Gwyn held out the sack, his voice unwavering. "In this bag lies something that even you, great Idris, cannot break. If you fail to destroy it, you must free the villagers from your tyranny forever." The giant laughed, a booming sound that rattled the stones around them. "Impossible! Hand it over!" Idris snatched the sack and reached inside. His hand wrapped around something smooth and hard, a round ball of iron that Gwyn had carefully forged in secret. With all his might, Idris squeezed the iron, his muscles bulging like knotted roots. But no matter how he tried, the ball would not give, for iron, of course, is unyielding. Furious at his failure, Idris hurled the ball into the dark forest below. "Fine," he bellowed. "You win, shepherd, but know this, I will leave only if you can also beat me at one more test. A riddle. Answer it, and I will trouble your people no more." Gwyn smiled slyly. "Speak your riddle, O giant." Idris leaned close and rumbled, "What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, yet never grows." Gwyn barely hesitated. "A mountain," he said, glancing up at the very peak Idris called home. The giant froze, his anger melting into astonishment. For the first time, someone had outwitted him. Fearing his injured pride might fester and grow into further humiliation, Idris stomped away, vowing never to set foot in Cwm Glyndwrdwy again. The villagers rejoiced when Gwyn returned, and to this day they tell the tale of the clever shepherd who could not be broken, just like the iron in his sack. And so atop Ir Wydfa, Idris's name faded into legend, while the strength of wit and courage lived on. The tale of the clever shepherd and his unyielding spirit echoes through the ages, reminding us all of the power of intelligence over might.